Howdy folks, JD here with Picnic Custom Shop, and today I got something really special. Another precision bass. I've been doing a lot of precision basses lately. This one is a 79 with a ton of mojo. The finish is reliced to perfection just from age and use, and it's beautiful bass. Doesn't need a lot. It came in for a setup, some minor work. So this is going to take a lot of work to get nice, because it's already really nice. Just some minor tweaks. But I wanted to document it because it's such a cool bass. So it came, so here's the bass. Isn't that thing cool? So it's got all this cool checking in the finish. And all of this is worn, but it still has the sealer. It's got this nice checking on the back. The neck has some chips and stuff along the sides. I asked the client if he wanted me to smooth out. He said no, leave it like it is. I'm like, okay, whatever you want. But there's really nothing wrong with it. He's asked for a setup, but I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. So the major thing that we got to do is we just got to put these end pins are falling out. And then the other thing is this is the original Pickguard. They put an aftermarket Pickguard in because this thing was warping. So I'm going to see what I can do about straightening this thing out. But the really cool thing about this is this has the serial number stamped on it. So I don't blame the client for wanting to have the original. I mean, it looks the same, but it's just cool. It would be so cool to have this back on there. And then he's got these are new relic covers, but look at how it's going to look with them on there. That is just badass. So then it also has got a thumb rest, the original Pickguard. We got these relic ashtray covers, and a really tiny tweak, very tiny tweak. I'm going to check these frets. I mean, the frets look surprisingly good for the age of the instrument. It doesn't look like it needs a lot. They're a little bit worn up here, but I might be able to get away with just checking them, see if anything's high, and then slapping the new strings on, just doing a, let me see if there's a slight bow. I'm just going to give the truss rod a minor tweak. Hopefully it'll turn a little bit, because it's just a tiny bit high. I can tell by, so what I do, first fret and then the last fret, and then see what kind of gap I got in the middle. Then that way you can tell. And yeah, I do it both sides to see if there's a twist. So it looks like it only needs a tiny little tweak. So I'm not going to tweak the truss rod. I'm going to tweak it a little bit. I'm going to turn it just a tiny bit once I get this Pickguard off, and then put on the new strings. I'll put on the new strings before I even put the new Pickguard, the old Pickguard, back on. Make sure the truss rod make sure the neck is set up really nice. So that's all there is to it. So I'm going for it. Oh, even take a look at this. The headstock has got some really nice checking. I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but checking on the headstock is so cool. And you can tell, like, even in '79 they were doing that thing where they would finish the headstock with nitrocellulose lacquer, probably because it's different than the back of the neck. And you can see that browning, like that other bass, the 71 that I had all that browning. You see a little bit of it right here. But this doesn't have any other damage at it. So it's a beauty. I'm gonna go ahead and plug it in and see how the electronics are. Perfect. Hardly needs to set up at all. Just needs a very minor little tweak, just to get the bow out, and it'll set up perfect. Intonation slightly off, but I'm not going to set intonation till I put the new strings on. He gave me a set of new strings, although these strings are in great shape. But we'll put new strings on anyway. Okay, done playing around. Let's get this thing going. First thing I want to do is snug up these what do you call them? Strap buttons and pins. Strap buttons. We'll call them strap buttons. He says they're both kind of loose, so this one you can see has got a giant hole. So what Mike told me, my client Mike, is that he didn't want to just shove a toothpick with some glue in there. He wanted to have it done correctly. Ironically, that actually is the correct way to do it, sort of. I make my toothpicks, this is ash, I'm going to make my toothpicks out of ash. So I'm going to get this piece of scrap ash from my last build, get my knife out and whittle myself a toothpick. It's kind of a big hole, so it's a little bigger than a normal toothpick, so I'll just make it a nice thing about working on basses, instruments that are already kind of beat up, you don't have to worry too much about beating them up anymore. You're not going to notice any more nicks on it. There. And then we're just going to drill that out and screw it back in. So for this one, we'll probably just, I'll make another ash toothpick out of it. Oh, we still have some left over. Beauty. Tell you, these strings are hardly worn at all. But he wants new strings on it, so that's fine. Frets are not bad. I guess that's one of the big benefits of flat wound strings. You don't really wear the frets much. You know, sometimes when I'm on YouTube, I see these guitar techs taking the cutters to the strings and just whacking them all up. You can do that with guitar strings because the guitar strings are like $5 a set, but you don't want to do that with bass strings unless they're really trashed. You can always use these things for spares if you need to, because bass strings can cost anywhere from 15 to $70 a set, maybe even more. For upright bass strings are like $100 a piece sometimes. So you rarely see a bass tech cutting bass strings. All right, let's go ahead and get this off. Take these knobs off real quick. Get a little screwdriver for that. Well, there's definitely been some kind of work done, because this is some funky looking soldering. Probably the pots have been replaced. Okay, there's the replacement Pickguard that we're going to replace with the original. So it has these warps in it, so I'm going to see if I can straighten those out. It's only a couple. See if putting a little heat on there might do the trick. Sometimes when you heat these things up, it changes the shape of them until they cool off, and then when they cool off, they go back to, move this base out of the way. you kind of go back to their original shape, or their, not original shape, but originally warped shape. So see, it's already, this warp here is already kind of straightening it up. I gotta work on these one by one and see what happens. Look at that, I think it's working. This one's already straightening up. Okay, I think that's the ticket. Kind of wanted to tweak this. You know what's interesting? This is what they were talking about with the quality of post CBS instruments. They say the quality went down. Well, you can see that clearly right here in this neck pocket. Take a look. Take a close look. See how the neck doesn't fit in the pocket? If I was to build a bass like that and deliver it, I would be ridiculed. That is funky. Yeah, so I guess they were, you know, in the 70s, they were just cranking these things out with not as much you know, attention to fit and finish details. Oh, it's not turning. There it goes. All right, that's about all I want to do. That might be all it needs, hopefully. Like a glove. Nice. Okay, so what I want to do is just check these frets, make sure they're level, or make sure there's no high frets. I got a couple of things that I use for checking frets. This is in the industry they call this a fret rocker. This one here, where I do these bigger, these frets that are further apart, is this is just a scraper, but I mean, I have a tiny bit of rocking right there, but it's nothing. It's not worth messing with because it plays great. So let's get the new strings on. So let me give this truss rod another little tweak. Which is why I didn't put the screws in the pickguard yet. Give this guy another tweak here. Yeah, that's right where I want it now. Bring down the G string a hair. Now you see these guys, these techs on YouTube using measuring devices. I don't know, I don't do that. I just go by feel. So my intonation is just slightly off here, not too much. I want to shorten the G string. Shorten the D string a bit. There it is. Beauty. Okay. Now I'm just going to put in all the screws and replace the knobs and put on those cool ashtray covers. And this thumb rest. Okay. So that's it. That's all this bass needed. Not much. Look at this thing. This thing is freaking killer. I love it. Unfortunately, it's not mine. But what I'm going to do before I give it back, I'm going to do a shootout video with this and my 51 reissue, which also has a maple neck. So, and thanks for joining me on this video. And come back for the next one. Like and subscribe. And you guys have a great day. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, dude, thanks a lot, man. I'm digging it. Yeah, that feels great.